Hello everyone, SiegeLink here, back with my next React video of Marble League 2021 Balancing. Now, I have watched this video once already, and actually one and a half already. That's due to the fact that I was starting to do this recording, and then an ad popped up midway, and I don't think it would have mattered that much, especially if I muted it. A lot of people would edit it out. I was even thinking of doing so myself. Editing, on the other hand, can take a long time, and honestly, sometimes even the simplest of things can be annoying. And I don't know why, but cutting in the middle of a video, there's only like one tutorial on YouTube for it, and there's like 30 for doing the start or the end. Eventually, I found that. Eventually, I could edit it out, but I decided, you know what? I didn't really learn much. I don't even remember the scores from what I just watched. I basically don't even remember what I just watched for the most part, other than like one team. So I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I still don't really remember much about this event. I'm still going into it blind. It's still going to be entertaining for anyone who is watching the original video. People are going to want to watch this. So I was like, heck it, let's just restart and hope there's not an ad on this one. If there is an ad, I'm going through it. I'm not recording this a third time. I'll edit it out. Now, this first part is not actually an official ad. This is something that they put at the start of their video, although there is an entire video on this just itself. They are making a Marble League game. And honestly, even without the popularity of Marble League, this probably would be a very well done game. Just because there's not many Marble games nowadays.
An old favorite moves us on to round 2 of the 2021 Marble League, hosted by the Crazy Cat's Eyes.
And if you see my elbows constantly moving up and down, that's because I'm adjusting. This is where it will be if I am
balancing.
If I'm like not resting on anything.
Quite a few Marble
I'm resting on my armrest now, and right now I'm just putting them on my desk.
Teams have 2 medals to their name in this very
so if I have
event.
some weird
and you can
body
see
language,
that
that's why.
specter of the wave back behind them. If you want to make some redemption happen,
so there'll be a quick little demonstration here.
Shadow of that wave. The red attendants will give us an example here. Several will splay off to the sides, but the goal is to keep down that red center line and end up.
I was about to pause it there. You can see 120 at the end. You get 130 if you get in the catch basin, but 120 is the end.
Added together.
I'll also just pause real quick to say this, so I don't talk over it. I'm very glad that they added sand in this version, because the last time they didn't, and sometimes they would roll a little bit, because it's not where they land, it's where they drop off. So sometimes if it looks like they landed kind of far, or a little farther than they actually was, that could sometimes make some questionable, like, well, it looks like they got further than that, that's why.
And there is how it will shake out for the end results.
So the winners of the last event are going to go first, and the losers of the last event are going to go last.
The first time they see it, when you see it in person, it is pretty stunning. The Indigo Stars, the winner of the last event, are not going to win this event. Oh boy.
They all got out at the same time. 34, 37, 38, 42.
They bunched up on each other. There were a lot of collisions in there. You wonder if they got all of their energy.
This is a key thing about this.
Last event didn't have any in the
It's not so much about getting someone to the end. It's about everyone going like past 50 or so. You don't want to drop off immediately, and as a result, you don't want to clump up too much. You don't want to bump into each other.
A 53 and a 23 in there as well. And that is the early mark to beat. 16 runs that we will see here. This one is the third. Mellow Yellow now drops it off to the side.
Not that great, but it's quite a bit better than their last one. In this event, anything below 200 is terrible. Anything above 300 is great.
In 2016,
right. This is my #1 team here.
That was their top finish overall. Thunderbolts are going to take one square down.
That was about average, maybe a little above average.
132 off to the near side.
I'm also not certain what average is on this.
Run down to 72.
This one maybe 260.
Provisionally for second place.
267, I'm okay with that.
Thunderbolts have never medaled in balancing.
I'll say 255 is probably average, maybe 250.
On their 2020 finish in the Marble League.
My #2 team, Gliding Glaciers.
Here's another team that is hoping to have a great finish. They weren't here last year, and that's the Gliding Glaciers. They do not have a single finisher.
Was that actually higher?
Do get a 274. That's
yeah, that was higher. Wow.
For second
even though they didn't get one in the end. That was a bit surprising.
The Shining Swarm up now, and it falls apart just past the midway point.
So there you can see
fell off.
It might
before
seem
they
really
reached
terrible, but
the
they're not
flag.
below 200, and that's because they didn't have any of that dropped off like before
Next
20.
up, the O'Rangers. A team that we usually think of as speed-bound, not so much precision.
That last one looked
and it
decent.
shows with a 188.
The curve to the left too much.
Already nearing the halfway point of this entire event.
Halfway already?
Oh, we get some competing chants echoing back and forth through the stadium. The fans are getting into this.
Hazers.
Next up, the Hazers. They come out 3 to the far side. Tiptoeing down on the near will lead
I'm
to
surprised
a
those
130. And the
those three in the
Hazers
back
move
looked like
into
they
the
dropped
top
off earlier
spot
than that.
with 329.
Yeah, that back one stayed on like way longer than I expected. I
That was
thought that
just
third
perched
one
on the
was going to
precipice of
drop at
falling
like
off,
30.
But the Hazers held it together.
So
And with
Gliding
half the
Glaives is
field
Thunderbolts third and fourth
gone,
right
they
now.
sit
I'll take it.
atop the leaderboard by a sizable margin. Next up, the Minty Maniacs, winner of this event in the Jubilino tournament back in 2018. And it's slow and steady, but can't draw it into the green at the end. They fall off, and that is only good enough for fifth. Look at the 28 that fell off instantly to the far
Teams are having a
side.
harder time staying in the
46 is
center
not
on this
too
one than
much
they used
better.
to. I'm not sure if I said this before, but I'd rather have a team that would have get like
All three
7th
teams
place
that
consistently
medaled
rather
in
than
the previous
have
event
first
the
and
weight
last
in this
consistently,
Marble League have gone.
or first and last
Only
like
the
over and
racers
over.
are doing well.
I prefer
See what the Savage
consistency.
Speeders can do. Disaster at the start, but they try to claw it back and can't get it done. 230.
Not
is
super
middle of
terrible,
the
at least,
pack
for them.
As well in 6th. So many strategies that you can adopt in this balancing, and you'll see teams try several different ones. Momo is great working together, but how well will it go in this one?
Looking good for
Ooh,
the
just
end. They got it.
barely making it to the green.
I think I just heard thunder.
And what do the points totals
But
work
only
out
quiet,
to?
so I think it should be good.
285. That puts them provisionally in the bronze position.
Pretty solid. Yeah, you see at the end they were
Finish my
they
thought
were
on some
going
of
off the
those
edge.
Formations
It was
and
pretty
things that
close, but
teams
they held it
try.
together.
It doesn't always work once the gate goes up and you are released
All right,
down.
Rojo
the
Rollers.
A lot of times you'll see it completely
Come on, boys.
fall apart. The Rojo Rollers. All
Actually, it's
go
not
to the
terrible. They're
far
past-
side.
they're
Now, that
past
tells
40.
me that they
All
were
right.
not coordinated coming out of the gate. Maybe they were
255,
a bit
okay.
antsy.
And we're back. I am definitely going to edit that out. I am not recording this another time. Didn't even see that ad pop up and nearly forgot to unmute that. Because I don't even want to listen to the ads that are ruining my recordings.
They had squared on the other side of that gate. It's tough to tell. But when you see them all go to one side, that's something
That actually
the
wasn't
coach is gonna
terrible.
have to think about. The Limers don't have that
Yeah,
problem. They
267. Same
fall
with the
to each
Thunderbolts, I
side,
think.
But a 267 only
But like, come on,
lifts
YouTube.
them
Can't we
up to
keep
6th.
ads to the start and the end of the
Now
video?
the Crazy Cat's Eyes, the home team and former bronze medalists back in 2019 in this event. But they have little to cheer about for a 12th place and a 202.
Yeah.
Well, the Wave is trying to keep some energy in the stadium, but
Couple
now with just a
tears.
couple of runs to go, we are already seeing
I think it's
guaranteed
two left.
medalists here. And the Chocolatiers lose 3 at the beginning. They can't hold one
They
to
really
the end.
needed that one at
And
the
we'll
end.
get far down the order, but Chocolatiers
Same exact
move
score
into
somehow.
12th. They're trying to beat that 329, and that 329, by the way, is guaranteed no worse than
Not
a
sure how
silver
tiebreakers
medal.
work in this event.
It's all up to the run of the Green Ducks right now.
The last team in the last event.
16 of 16. The Ducks are away. They bump into each other.
That's
3
looking
hold on.
great.
Now 2 are going to make it to the end.
Surely that's got to
This
be
could be a
gotta be
huge
the best.
total for them. Were it not for that one just shy of 50, it is enough.
405 yet.
405. The Green Ducks have gold in the balance.
They got
They put
last,
bronze
then
medal
first.
in the friendly round. But a 405 clears the field handily. The Hayes.
Alright, so where were the tie teams? Okay, Thunderbolts and Limers. Thunderbolts are above due to the fact that they got the one in the green. That's good. And Gliding Glacier's just above Thunderbolts.
Racers get silver, and the Raspberry
Rojo
Racers
Rollers,
get bronze.
8th. That's actually alright. Better than I thought they did.
Talk about leaving it right to the end. The Green Ducks.
That's 2 events in a
Get
row
it
now. The
done.
last runs have been the gold medalists. Wonder if that's show
The
for
Green
signs
Ducks, who
for
finished
things to
just
come.
12th in the Marble League last
Green
year.
Ducks, Hazers, Raspberry Racers. That's
The
2 medals now
Blue,
for the
that is their
Raspberry Racers,
third
silver and
gold
bronze.
medal of their entire, still illustrious careers. They finished second back in 2019. That was their first outing in any Marble League. And what does that do to the overall standings as we watch them shoot from the bottom of the order, 0 points all the way up to third place? Raspberry Racers take the top spot. Hazers jump 6 into second.
Just pause for a moment to look at this. So Thunderbolts and Gliding Glaciers go down 1 total, but they both have the same spot, right next to each other, 5th and 6th. I'm alright with that. Rojo Rollers, surprisingly, are exactly the same spot they were before, 12th. But you know what? I'm okay with that because you see these teams that are at the bottom? Savage Speeders, O-Rangers, and Crazy Cat's Eye. That's surprising for anyone watching who has watched previous Marble Leagues, because these are top-tier teams. These are the guys that everyone roots for, and everyone does well. The Savage Speeders, O-Rangers, Crazy Cat's Eye, Minty Maniacs. Those are the guys that dominated the last season. Completely dominated.
But it is still anybody's championship.
And on top of that, one of the other teams that dominated, the Midnight Wisps, aren't even in the playoffs.
As the energy high in the stadium, it will continue on to the next event, where we hope
pausing
to see
probably
you.
wasn't super necessary.
That subscribe button and join us next time.
But one way or another, I'm not recording this again. I'm going to edit those parts out. It's just a small ad part. It's just a quick cut. I haven't edited in ages, but I should be able to do it. And if not, I can do this another time and hope for the best. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.